and welcome to Learn at Home with VIA. My name is Erica Hoyt, and I'm a high school life skills teacher with Blast IU 17 at Montoursville Area High School. Earlier in today's programming, there was a segment about individuals' unique abilities, and following this lesson, there is a lesson about freedom writers and stories from the heart. Well, here is my own personal story from my heart. I was 7 years old and in first grade. One of my favorite parts of the school day was close to arriving: recess. I remember the teachers dismissing our class as we all raced to the door to go outside on this beautiful sunny spring day. I can feel the sun hitting my face and racing to get to the swing by the big tree. You see, you always wanted to go on the swing set near the tree because if you could get high enough, your feet would touch the leaves. I made it to the swing and I was excited to get started. I can still feel the mulch underneath my feet as I pumped my legs to get started. Then finally I pumped my legs hard. Out, in, and finally I could point my toes and I was touching the tree leaves. The best part about swinging was also the ability to watch everyone else playing. On this particular day, we were sharing the playground with the third graders. As a first grade student, I thought this was really cool. I remember vividly looking out and seeing so many kids playing, but I was particularly drawn to one third grade student. The student was playing all alone. She was walking around the blacktop and appeared to be lonely. Moments later, I saw children making fun of her. Observing this made my heart sink to my stomach. And in that moment, I couldn't wait for recess to end. Recess always went fast, and I never wanted it to be over. But on this specific day, recess drug on, and I wanted the teacher on duty to blow the whistle to line up. I remember feeling sick to my stomach and helpless. Why did this upset me so much? The third grade girl that was lonely and getting teased was my older sister, Amber. Finally, the whistle blew and it was time to go inside. I went inside and I skipped the water fountain that day. I sat at my desk and slowly had tears rolling down my cheek, thinking to myself, when is this day going to be over? What am I going to do? I have to fix this. I cannot tell my mom or dad what I saw. I don't want to make them sad. The school day came to an end. My mom picked my sister up, and just like every day, we had a fun car ride home, listening to music with the windows down and the breeze hitting my face. As many thoughts raced through my mind. I didn't want to talk to my mom, dad, or sister about my terrible day. In fact, I acted like my day was great. I wanted to come up with a plan to help my sister all on my own. At this point, I felt invincible. Nothing was going to stop me. I lay in bed that night and prayed that my sister would be fixed so no one would make fun of her. I wanted her to be cool and popular, whatever that may look like. The next day I went to school like it was a new day. I did not forget about what I witnessed as I was ready for a new beginning. As much as I loved recess and was excited to get outside, I was really hoping I did not have to share recess again with the third grade class. Throughout the day, I remember my name being called over the loudspeaker within the class. Pardon the interruption, may you please send Erica to the nurse's office? The thoughts sprinted through my head as I always feared getting called somewhere because I did not want to be in trouble. I slowly excused myself from class and walked to the nurse's office. As I entered the nurse, she kindly greeted me and explained it was time for her to conduct the annual screenings. You know, when they check your weight, height, eyesight, and hearing. I participated as I was getting screened. I thought to myself, now is my opportunity. This is how I can fix the problem of kids picking on my sister. But how? Well, I had my weight checked, then my height, and next, my eyesight. The last was the hearing test. The nurse explained the directions and she said, when you hear a beep, raise your hand to match the ear that you hear the sound. A few beeps went by. I didn't raise my hand. The nurse took the headphones off and explained the directions again. I told her that I understand. I placed the headphones back on my tiny ears and she pressed a few more buttons, but again, neither hand went up. The nurse asked if I could hear the beeps and I told her I didn't hear anything. The test was conducted and I continued to not raise my hand. Then that moment I waited for was that pink piece of paper the nurse completed to inform my parents that I needed further examination with my hearing. I walked down the hallway flashing my pink paper in excitement. Why was this such great news? How was this going to help my sister? The plan was coming together. The day went on just like a normal day in the first grade. No, I did not see my sister at recess. That day, so I did not have to see if she was alone or not. Meanwhile, as the school day went on, the nurse also called my mom, which I was unaware of, to give her the results of the screening. Again, the school day ended and I ran to the car. The car ride home was the best. I loved feeling the breeze and listening to the music on the car ride home. As soon as we got home, I pulled the pink piece of paper out of my backpack and handed it to my mom. My mom told the nurse that she got a phone. My mom told me the nurse called her, and I remember thinking in my head, that's not good. My mom said that she made an appointment with her family doctor as a follow-up to my hearing test, in which I failed. Secretly, I was excited and thought, yes, my plan is working. I tried not to let on to my mom that I was excited for this appointment. A few days went by and the day has come. It was time to go to the doctor. My mom and I patiently waited in the waiting area. At last, my name was called. With confidence, I walked and followed the nurse to the patient room as my mom followed closely behind. The nurse asked some basic questions and told my mom that the doctor would be in shortly. The doctor came in and lo and behold, he brought the hearing machine with him. I thought to myself, here we go again. The doctor explained the instructions, and in my head I thought to myself, yeah, I know, but I patiently listened. He placed the headphones on my ears, and the test began. Again, the machine made the beep beep sound, but I did not raise my hand. The beeps were getting louder and louder, but I continued to refuse. The doctor removed the headphones and once again explained the instructions. I remember my mom chiming in as well. Deep down, she was probably thinking, come on, Erica, you can hear. The headphones went back on and the hearing test continued. Again, the beep beeps continued and my hands stayed rested on my lap. At this point, the doctor explained to myself and my mom that his recommendation was for me to see a hearing specialist. He explained that the hearing specialist would be able to help me identify why I was unable to hear. This made me as excited as my plan continued to work. As mom checked out, I quietly waited behind her. After checkout was complete, my mom and I walked to the car, and the car ride was pretty quiet, as I'm sure lots of thoughts were running through my mom's head. It was early evening, and I was playing outside with my sister. Soon, my parents called Amber and I into the house to eat dinner, and after we said our dinner prayer, we began to eat. Inevitably, my dad mentioned the doctor's appointment to me, and I played it off to him that I really struggled with the test. While I was distracted doing something else, I'm sure my parents had a discussion about the appointment at the beginning of the upcoming hearing specialist. Later in the evening, it was time to go to bed. My parents would individually come into my bedroom and tuck me in. My dad came first, and then my mom closely followed. This good night was different than the other ones in the past. Why? My mom sat on my bed and said, Erica, are you really having a difficult time hearing? I simply replied, yes, I am. She went on explaining that the next step, the hearing specialist will have this special machine which will be able to tell if I can truly hear or not. She explained that the machine has so much technology and I wasn't going to have the opportunity to raise my hand when the sound went off. At that moment, I could feel myself getting warm. I knew I was being dishonest and could not continue to lie to my parents or the doctors. I simply began to cry and tears rolled down my cheek. My mom said, Erica, what is wrong? I explained to her that if I could not hear, then the doctors would have to give me hearing aids, and I would choose bright colored ones for everyone else to see. My mom just looked at me and said, why would you want hearing aids? I said, well, if I have hearing aids, then everyone at school can start making fun of me instead of Amber. I remember feeling like a ton of bricks lifted off my shoulders. I told my mom what happened at recess and how it made me sad. I wanted to come up with a plan so Amber would not be made fun of. I was worried my parents were going to be really upset with me because I was deceitful and lied. However, they understood where I was coming from. My parents explained that Amber was born with a learning disability. I do not like the word disability, so from here on out, I'm going to use the word diversability. Due to Amber's diversability, she learned a little bit differently and needed some extra attention at school in regards to academics. My parents explained that kids should not be making fun of her. What could I do to fix this? My parents described that Amber didn't need fixed. She was simply made the way she was for a reason. In fact, Amber has a lot of qualities, and from that day on, I took it upon myself to be my sister's advocate. What did that mean? I was going to stay by her side and stick up for her through challenging times, and be there to cheer her on through great times as well. Now I knew my sister had a diverse ability. I looked up to her as my hero. Not all heroes save the world, wear a badge or a cape, or even have superpowers. But my sister had many gifts that few could see. But I knew one day she would shine as she deserved. School years went by, we went to middle school, which was grades 5 through 8, and school curriculum became more challenging. It became more and more difficult for Amber. The older the kids got, the more cruel they were to her. Amber had poor self-esteem in middle school, and she frequently walked with her head down and was extremely quiet. School was not fun for Amber, and looking back, I understand why. During my middle school career, I continued to advocate for my sister, but also for other individuals with diverse abilities as well. I began volunteering in the life skills support classroom during my study halls and free time. I would go into the class and assist where I could. This classroom had a wonderful teacher who taught me so much. Her name was Mrs. Robin Holmes. Mrs. Holmes always demonstrated a positive attitude, and she did the best she could to boost the self-esteem of the students in her class. Honestly, going into her classroom was the highlight of my day. I continued to volunteer within her classroom weekly until my middle school years were complete. During high school, not much had changed. Amber's self-esteem was really poor, and she struggled tremendously with creating friendships, social gatherings, and often would be seen walking in the hallway all by herself with her head down. Amber and I struggled having conversations at times because we were so different in many ways. I enjoyed sports, shopping, and socializing, and she did not like any of those things. Amber enjoyed music and being by herself. It was a struggle to get Amber to do anything outside of the house, but this was because her self-esteem and confidence, by this point, were completely diminished. I continued to volunteer in the life skills support classroom at the high school. This is where I met some amazing people. I met Mr. Tim Hanner and Mrs. Laura Snyder, and Mr. Hanner was the classroom teacher at the time, and Mrs. Snyder was one of the classroom paraprofessionals. Both of these individuals had positive interactions with the students and taught them daily life skills to help them be successful. One of my favorite pastimes was going on community walks with them and teaching the students to cross the street. I looked forward to getting out on these beautiful days with my friends in the life skills classroom. I developed positive relationships with the majority of the students, and again, this was a highlight of my day. I wanted to be an advocate for my sister, but I also wanted to be an advocate for other individuals with diverse abilities as well. Now Amber is a high school senior. How exciting, right? Not for Amber. Amber was nervous about the future, as what was she going to do? During Amber's senior year, she had a wonderful teacher, Krista Wise. Krista was always encouraging Amber and tried her best to have Amber reach her full potential. As transition from high school to adulthood was not going that well, my parents signed Amber up for a school-to-work program with Blast IU 17 called Explore. Amber was provided a job coach, and Amber was going to work throughout the school day to gain meaningful work skills to help her be successful within the workplace. Amber was extremely scared and nervous to do this. In fact, she cried the first day her job coach picked her up, as she did not want to go. This was a new experience and way beyond Amber's comfort zone. Well, Amber went, and the plan was to go to a local daycare facility and help the toddlers in the program. Slowly, Amber began to gain some confidence, and she ended up really enjoying working at that daycare. What was my role? I was Amber's cheerleader. I tried my best to encourage her and wanted her to be happy and succeed. It was really challenging to watch my sister struggle so much. Sometimes I would sit at lunch or walk through the hallway and cry to myself because I wanted her to have positive experiences like myself. Graduation came, and Amber put on her blue cap and gown. Amber did develop some positive relationships within the school, and these girls had Amber sit next to her at graduation, and to this day, they're still friends. Amber received her high school diploma, and the class of 2005 tossed their caps into the air. Now this is when Amber's journey really begins in the real world. Me, on the other hand, I was just so proud of her for graduating and completing a task that for so many days was so difficult for her. To help Amber be successful within the community, unfortunately, my mom had to quit her job to provide transportation and be my sister's job coach. Was she successful? Where did she end up? In regards to myself, after Amber graduated, I still had 2 more years of high school to complete. Throughout the time, I had to decide where I wanted to go to college and what I wanted to do. Mr. Hanner strongly encouraged me to go to school to be a teacher, along with many others. At that moment, I did not follow the advice that was given to me. I loved kids and enjoyed teaching, but I wanted to help others in a different capacity. I graduated high school and I went on to Pennsylvania College of Technology and started in the nursing field. During the summer, I worked as a paraprofessional for extended school year through Blast I-17, and I loved ESY and looked forward to going to work each day. I met some amazing educators, paraprofessionals, and supervisors. After 2 years of difficult classes and not really enjoying the career path I chose, I decided to change my major. That's right, I listened to the advice of many and transferred to Lock Haven University, where I majored in special education and elementary education. I graduated in 2012 and began my teaching career in 2013. When I entered my career, my dream job was to be a life skills support teacher, where I spent many hours volunteering in middle school and high school. Well, I landed my dream job teaching high school life skills in the exact building where I was mentored by Mr. Hanner. What is even more amazing is one of my paraprofessionals is Mrs. Snyder, who worked in the classroom when I volunteered way back in high school. Why, man, how does life come full circle? I also have Mrs. Boatman and Miss Hamilton, who are amazing paraprofessionals as well. We work well as a team, which attributes to the success of the students. Mrs. Holmes, my middle school mentor, is now my supervisor, along with Mr. Hanner. Mrs. Wise, one of Amber's amazing teachers, is now my colleague, in which we work closely together. It is truly amazing how the mentors in my life from such a young age are still guiding me along the way in my career. What is the point? Well, everyone in life has been given unique abilities that can be used within our community to have an impact on others. The traumatizing event of witnessing my sister being teased in the playground when I was in first grade led me to advocating for her and others with diverse abilities. I believe my unique abilities include demonstrating a positive attitude, even through difficult times, advocacy, and being a good teammate. We all know that life can be difficult. Scott Hamilton once said, "The only disability in life is a bad attitude." I truly believe that. I look at everything I do in life with a positive attitude. There is a reason why this is happening. How you respond to the bump in the road is what makes you strong and builds character. Being able to advocate for my students and helping them be successful within school and after school is another one of my unique abilities. I also help the parents, as I know personally how much my parents struggled with receiving services and helping my sister be successful in her life. It takes a team to support each other, and being a good teammate is an ability that I believe I possess. Being a good teammate doesn't just mean cheering for someone when they hit a home run, but it also means providing support when they strike out. In life, there are many curveballs and bumps along the way. We all know that life isn't easy and at times isn't fair. I know I never thought it was fair that my sister was given the deck of cards that she was given, but now I wouldn't change it at all. My sister is now my best friend. It is amazing the person she has become. Looking back 15 years, I never would have imagined she would be where she is today. How did she become so successful? Well, with perseverance and hard work and having a team of people who believed in her made a big difference. I want you to meet my sister, Amber Logan. She is going to share a little bit about her unique abilities.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to tell you that all through my school years, I had no self-esteem. I always walked with my head down and had no confidence in myself. I will try to keep from going into too much detail as I explain how I came to realize that I did have skills and abilities to use out in the world. But as my transition from high school, I felt fell apart for me. I couldn't see them. I was so down on myself. One day, I started volunteering at the American Rescue Workers Social Service Center, and that day when I left there, I knew I wanted to help others and that I loved encouraging people. As I continued to work there, my skills were improving, but now my confidence was improving too. That gave me the ability to look forward and to see what else I could accomplish. I was hired by Advocacy Alliance as a surveyor. So now I was working with a team of adults who did not have a diverse ability. I love this job. I help interview others like myself, and I love encouraging them. And my self-advocacy skills are helping others as I can help be a voice for them too. I feel like this was my purpose all along, and through those hard times, I can help others. Now, I also see my voice as I have been the keynote speaker for 3 conferences telling my story. The shy girl with her head down is now actually outgoing and loves to talk. I have always had a love for music, and that has helped me accomplish the goal of being a Drums Alive certified instructor. I take Drums Alive into the Hope Day program, and I also help my sister and my mom teach a class for individuals with diverse abilities called Superstars. This was taken my love for music and my ability to encourage through music and drumming. I also have always had a love for musical theater, and now I am involved in a theater group at Community Theater League for those with diverse abilities. This has been an amazing experience for me, as I now get to perform on stage with my peers. The last thing I would like to talk about is my card ministry that I started about 4 years ago. I send cards out each week to those who have birthdays or anniversaries in my church. I also love to send cards out to just cheer others up. I know this is something that I enjoy, and it is so rewarding to me. The point that I want to get across today is that we all have abilities and gifts. I would also like to say that all along my family helped to advocate for me, but now I am my own advocate. I love speaking up for myself. I no longer walk around with my head down. I walk with my head up, and I'm proud to be me.
Thank you, Amber. As we reflect on today, I want you to remember that someone around you is cheering for you and believes in you. Life isn't always easy, and some struggle more than others. However, reflect on your own life. What are your unique abilities? What makes you the person you are today? I encourage you to reflect upon your life and even think about your future. How can your unique abilities impact others in a positive way? Thank you for joining me on Learn at Home with VIA.